Yo, this is Arabia from Arabia Asks You. Guys, you don't want to miss this. We talk with Wine Shop at Home. This is basically a wine tasting in your home, and they will come to your house. Stay tuned. And I'm going to finish this wine.
With her when you put the mic in her hand, she'll make you say yes ma'am.
Arabia asks us and we answer.
Okay guys, I have a special treat for you. We have Miss Aisha from Wine Shop at Home. She's going to tell us a little bit about wine. And guys, you know we love our wine here on Arabia Asks You. So can you tell us a little bit about your wine and what you have?
Okay, so the company I market for is Wine Shop at Home. And what it is, it's an in-home wine tasting business. And the nice thing about it is that when you have your in-home wine tasting, you'll get to taste about 5 to 6 wines. It'll be a range of reds, whites, and sparkling. Different type of palates. Some people like very dry, so there's about 5 different sets of samples that you can try from. And the samples meaning that you're going to get full bottles of wine. So as you can see on display here, we have our sparkling, it's a semi-sweet. We have a Gewürztraminer, a really popular white blend called Snickerdoodle. People love it. It is so good.
Really?
It normally comes out around holiday time and it goes really fast. So I think this time I bought like 6 bottles of it just to store. On the other end of it, we also have our reds. And 2 of the ones I brought are called Glory Sellers, and what those are, they're for benefiting for military. So some of the proceeds from those will go towards veterans, the Veterans Fund.
Okay, and this is red?
This one's red. So the Glory Sellers, there's a red. This is a white.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, yes, this is a Chardonnay here. And then we have a Pinot Noir.
So how much do these range for? Say I just wanted to buy one. Like, what's the range?
It ranges from $16 to $72. So it covers everybody.
Right.
Wherever you go, it goes up, down, in the middle.
Okay. And so when you're doing the wine tasting, so when you say you could get, just what you say, 5 or 6 or 8 bottles, is it per bottle you're paying for, or are you paying for the whole package?
The whole package. So the whole package is $39.95. Yes. And you get your full 5 bottles to go through.
For $39.95.
Right. Now, of course, the hopes is that you're going to like it and then buy some more.
Right.
Because you're going to open all of them. So eventually, at the end of your tasting, they're all yours. So you and your friends can, hang out and enjoy it. And hopefully you'll buy some more. So.
And so do we get a consultant with that price? Or
Yes. So you're going to get me.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, this is exciting.
So you'll get me. So actually, I'll do a little demonstration.
Okay.
So let's say, okay, we've booked it, you've arranged it, you've picked out which sample set you want to try. Okay. Your bottles are here. And then I will come and we'll give you your order board.
Okay.
Your order board will give you our full tasting menu. So you're going to see not only the ones that you picked out, but eventually you'll see the entire offering. Right. And it changes regularly. So like for the Snickerdoodle, it sells out. So you have to wait if they bring it back the next year. So it's not like, okay, once you get that this is it. No, it's constantly changing. So that's the nice thing about it. Right. To get you to come back. So you have your tasting menu. And then behind that is your tasting sheet. So this is the fun part. So as you're going through, you get to like kind of do your little notes of it. Do I like this? Some people get really fancy and do like a whole spread of food to do the whole wine food.
Right.
Some will do like a little snacks here and there just to give you a little taste of it.
So what is the best, if you would say for a party, what is the best foods that you should have for a wine tasting?
Okay, good you asked that. So we typically say no more than 16 people because that gives you everybody enough to try at least twice. Okay. Bigger parties, it gets kind of a little more unwieldy, and then it's like, okay, are you having a party or actually tasting? So the best thing to do if you're going to do a sit-down deal, if you want to have food with it, the nice thing is that each one comes with a recipe pairing on the back. So it'll kind of give you an idea of here's what's going to go best with this particular wine. So some will get real ambitious and do that, or there's a description that comes with each bottle, and in addition to the recipe on the back, for the Glory Cellars, the Cabernet Sauvignon, this one will say, okay, well, here's different cheeses to try with it. It is a red, so you're more so looking at like your beef, some chicken, depending on how you cook it. For me, I would say if you're going to do chicken with it, more of a roasted chicken is pretty good with that as well. So you just kind of have to play with it a little bit. Try to think opposite. So if you're having like something super sweet, actually a granny apple will kind of balance it out. So it's not sweet on top of sweet, because then you kind of destroy the taste of it.
Right.
So if you're going to go super dry, then you want to try maybe like a strawberry.
Okay.
To bring it back on the other side.
See, when I had my wine tasting, I had all my friends come over and I was like, okay, bring your favorite bottle. I served them cheese. I'm not on that level of serving people full course meals. But that's good to know that you can serve them, you know, like really, and it comes with their own meals. This is so exciting. Okay, so say for instance, you have a party and everybody pulls out, you know, I mean, you have like the certain bottles. Is there any way that I can order more bottles? So I know I have the 5 that comes with it, but can I get more bottles that for my visit?
Yes. So what we have is an add-on pack. So what we do for your tastings, after you pick out which style you want to go to, we have add-on packs.
Okay.
So let's say you want to add 1 or 2 of the sweet ones or the dry, or add an extra red or a white, you can do that. So it's pretty nice that way, especially if you kind of what we try to do is I'll stick with like the light to sweet just because that's what I have right here.
Okay.
You'll get mostly sweet, but they'll also give you a dry, just to kind of mix things up with it.
How did you get into this?
I got into it, honestly, I wanted a tax break. And it just happened to be, it was about a year ago, I went to one of my girlfriend's house. She had a wine tasting. And I had been thinking about like different things to do. So I went to that and I'm like, this is easy. Because I'm not a salesperson by any stretch of the imagination. I don't have to sell wine. Either you're going to invite me because you already like wine. I'm not convincing you to try something new. So I like that about it.
Right.
It's just learning, getting a little bit more in depth with it.
So what's one thing that was creative to you that stood out? Like one party you can remember and say, you know what? That was an awesome party.
Okay. The one where they had the host, she did do pairings. It wasn't a full-on meal. It was like more of a bite size.
Right.
But it was just really well thought out. Like, so a couple of days beforehand, we went over, okay, here's your choices. Here are the different tastes. And then the way that she displayed the foods, you can get creative with that. So you have your little plates laid out and you already have everything fit on your plate. And you're just kind of walking through with that. So the nice, cool thing about it that stood out is as people were kind of like, oh, I don't really like this type of wine. Why aren't we tasting this? When they tried it with the different foods, it's like you see their eyes light up. It's like, this is really good. So that's the fun part to me, is like, you think you might not like something and then you try and like, okay, this is something different. So just trying new things and seeing the reactions is fun for me. Okay,
well, it was one thing you say that you've experienced going to parties and you're like, you know what, I'm never going to this person's house again, or I don't want to go to this type of function again.
Okay, I'm going to choose my words carefully because it's very identifying, but too large of a party is not going to go well. Okay. Because again, the expectation level, especially if you're hosting and you tell people it's a party, they're looking for me to be bartender, and that's not what this is about. So sometimes you have to be careful with like managing expectations with that.
So when you go to these parties, you don't pour their tasting? Like, what do you do?
I do pour the tastings for like either me or the host will pour. But it's not where, as we're going through it, you have to have patience because we're going to go through each one. We're going to taste it. We're going to talk about it.
And educate them.
Right. That's the whole point. Versus, the party situation turns into, well, just pour me some more.
Right. And let's get drunk.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right. Which, not knocking it, but that's not what we're here for. Right. When I get done, you can do what you want because it's yours. But yeah.
What's the best one between these 3? Like, what's the best one? Because I know you said that these were all sweet. Mm-hmm. So what's the best one between these 3?
Again, the best is always very subjective.
Really?
It all is about the person's taste buds. So for me, we'll start on the outside coming in. The snickerdoodle is very nice. It's easy sipping, no matter any time of year, time of day. Don't have to worry about pairing with anything. Okay. The Gewürztraminer, For me, I like it with sherbet ice cream. It's just, that's how I like to drink it.
Right.
It still is easy if you don't want to pair it with something. If you do, it goes very well with seafood. The Semi-Secco, the sparkling wine, well, who doesn't like sparkling wine? That's sit in your bathtub whenever you want.
Right.
So for me, I always go by what's your mood, what's your feel. You know, if you're going to sit down and have a meal, then we're going to pair a little bit more. If it's just going to chill out, then I would go with the Snickerdoodle or the Semi-Secco.
Okay, and what's the price difference between the three?
So the price difference, the Semi-Secco is $24. The Snickerdoodle, at the time it was being sold, was about $21. And the one in the middle, the Cursed Demeanor, is $23.
Wow. So these are not your typical liquor store $10 bottles, guys.
No, they're not. Just kind of backing up a little bit for Wine Shop at Home. What they do is that they outsource all their grapes. So they bring the grapes in all over the world. And the winery is out in California. So they're in Napa Valley, but they do not have a physical vineyard. So they're bringing in all the grapes, they make the wine there. So you'll see different labels with them. So you'll have like the Glory Cellars, the Lacadelle, the Cookie Cellars, or this one is Sunfish, but they're all Wine Shop at Home. And it's just going to depend on what they're going to offer that year.
So do they offer any incentives as far as like maybe like a membership or any rewards, anything like that?
They do. So there is actually it is on the back of your tasting board. We do have a wine club. So you can do either 2 or 4 bottles.
Okay.
The 2-bottle membership is $34.95. 4-bottle membership is $64.95. And with those memberships, that's a monthly subscription. Some people, if you want to do it, you can do recurring, or you can buy a 6-month or 3-month subscription of those. In addition to that, throughout the year, you'll get discounts, maybe like some percentage off, like a case of wine or half a case. And they'll also do, even if you don't do the wine club, they'll do different wine specials. So you could they'll offer, let's say these 3, but then we have a really nice table white and a table red. So you can get 3 table whites plus these for, let's say, $100 or less. So that's the nice thing too, is that it'll give you different ways to pair things. And even for like, if you get the 3 extra bottles of the white or the white or the red, okay, so you can keep one for yourself. You can give them one away, or you can keep a white and a red and then turn those into sangria. You kind of let them sit over a while. Summertime comes, you're ready to roll.
Wait, I'm sorry. You just, my mind, sangria.
Yes.
So are you saying that basically how to make sangria, you just let it sit?
That's how I will do it. So this is what I'll tell people. One of the selling points that I try to point out is that as you're tasting wine, whether it's with me or anywhere else, you get a bottle of wine, you're not sure if you like it, don't throw it away. Either cook with it or turn it into sangria, because sangria, you're going to start with a red or a white, add your fruit, add your brandy. If you want to do a little bit of extra something else, go ahead, but then let it sit. Let it sit, let it ferment, get it soaked in there. It's really nice. So you think you don't like it, just turn it into something else.
Nice. We're learning.
Went over a couple of the basics, and did you decide which one you would like to try?
I guess I'm gonna try this Snickerdoodle, because you got me really excited about that, and I'm just like, I think I have to try this.
You're gonna like it.
Okay.
All right. So this is the Cookie Cellars Snickerdoodle. They also do a red called Biscotti, which is my favorite, and they also do a port style one.
Okay.
That's called macaroon. And you want to serve it with a nice chill to it.
Ooh.
So
Does that come with it? Or this is your personal?
We do sell this one. So this is our wine key. So you'll get a foil cutter, and then you have your wine key on there too. Nice. But you can also use a bottle opener.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
See, I'm so like electronics. I use my
which I should probably keep telling myself I should, but there's just something satisfying about doing it this way for me. Yeah.
Because I feel like when this wine, I just say zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah. Especially if you've had a stressful day, it's like you don't really want to fight with it.
Yeah, and it's sometimes it's just too much, but you're just doing that with ease. And so, do you sell the bottle stoppers?
We do. So what you see at the front of the table are a couple of different bottle stoppers that we have. There's one on the end. I think it's a black one. So that one's really nice. That one is called our Haley's Corker. And what that does is that it's an aerator, a filter with a stop, and it's a wine stopper. And you can use it on not just wine, but if you have any like liquor bottles or beer or anything like that, it will hold it and keep it fresh.
So do you think that it's important to have bottle stoppers?
I think so. Now, the reason why I say that is that it just depends. Like if you do have a wine tasting, especially if it's one where it's like a potluck and everybody brings things and you don't finish it all, then definitely have those around. Now, the flip side is that there's normally not wine left, but it's nice to have them. So.
Because I know I had a wine party and I was giving out. I gave people glasses, the glasses that they drink with, as well as the bottle stoppers, and everyone was like, "What are these? So bougie." But I'm like, but the thing is, you can take. I was allowing people to take their bottle home or whatever bottle they had, but you want to make sure that that bottle. To me, I feel like when you don't have a bottle stopper in, your wine is no longer fresh. Do you agree or?
It'll stay fresh. It just depends on, now you're talking about storage.
Yes.
So whether you have a nice bottle stopper or you just cork it, what you want to make sure you can do is typically, like for refrigerators, if you want to have your whites, put them in the fridge after you've opened them about 2-3 days tops. Reds, some people put them in the refrigerator. If not, at least put it in like in a cool, dark place. But still, you're talking about 3 days tops with them, no matter what you do.
Okay. When you say that, you're saying without a stopper, without anything. This
is with a stopper. I wouldn't suggest if you leave the.
That's what I'm saying. Just open.
Then the air is going to get in there. It's going to ruin it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I noticed that because I mean I've tried it. Just being transparent. I've tried it, and you taste the wine the next day, and it's like this is not how I had it the day before. But to keep that freshness, I feel like even if you put the cork or a stopper in, you still have that nice taste of wine.
Right. So we're going to go over 4 S's.
Ooh.
So we got the 4 S's. You're going to hold your bottle. So you want to hold it by the stem. Sorry, the glass.
Okay.
Not the bottle unless you're having a really bad day. The first S is you're going to see. So this is where you're going to hold it up to the light. You're going to look for the clarity of it. Looking for a nice good color with this one. You also, in the case of you're outside, you're looking for bugs. It's very important. Some of your older wines, you do get some cloudiness because they're older. That does not mean they're bad. It's just they're older. Your younger wines are going to be more clear.
Okay.
Now, the next one you want to swirl. So you're going to swirl a little bit. And with the snickerdoodle, because it's a sweet one, what I tell people to do is look for the legs. And the legs are going to be, what you see are the drips. So the thicker and longer your legs are, then that's an indication that you have a sweeter wine. So sweeter wine, and also your alcohol content. So for your drier ones, you might get long legs, but that means your alcohol content is high. So Snickerdoodle, I believe this one is about 12.5% alcohol content on that one. So now we've swirled and we're going to now do our sniff. So what you want to do is try to find your dominant nostril, like which one you breathe better out of, and get a nice good whiff out of there. I know it sounds weird, but yeah. So you really take it in. All right, see what you smell. What do you smell?
Fruits, but then.
And don't be shy to get in there. It's just inhale it. There you go.
It's like. It reminds me of like Pinot, what is it, Pinot Grigio? I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's what it smells like. It doesn't smell sweet. It smells like it's like dry from the smell of it.
Okay. All right. Now you're going to do your first sip. And this one, take your sip, but don't immediately swallow it. So what you want to try to do, and it kind of sounds weird, let it travel over your tongue. So kind of take it in, kind of roll it over side to side, front to back, and then swallow.
You know, it tastes like I drank a cookie. I can taste it. It does taste, it's not as sweet, but it's also not as dry. It's like a mix between both. And it doesn't, and my tongue doesn't taste strong, but all up in here. You can feel, but it's like my tongue. My tongue is nice. It's not like an aftertaste. Which, you know, sometimes when you drink wine, you still have that wine taste on your tongue. I don't taste that at all.
Yeah. And so what that is like your saliva. You allow the chance for your saliva to interact with it, because sometimes if you drink it too fast, you get that immediate, it's like it's there and it's out. But if you let it sit and interact with it, that's where your taste buds start kicking in.
Okay, and do you feel like you have to do that every time you sip wine, or is it just on the initial?
No, it's just on the initial, and then you kind of, this is where you can kind of play with it. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll have people take another sip and try to let a little air in. So it's that same concept of letting wine sit for a minute. So if you have a white wine, what you want to do is normally you want to keep them chilled. You serve it, when you take it out, 20 minutes. So pour the glass, let it breathe for 20 minutes. And so the same thing if you're doing a tasting, you drink it, let a little bit of air in just to kind of get a little bit more of a flavor with that too. So, and then if I was thinking ahead, this is where then you start pairing different foods with it. So the same wine, if you go with Chinese food with this, sounds a little weird, but especially if you get like something a little spicy, it actually goes very nice with this. There's not a whole lot of a conflict. However, if you did this particular wine with a very sweet piece of cake, you actually might not like it.
The cake or the wine?
Could be both, because now you're kind of competing sugars with that. Okay. So sometimes sweet on top of sweet is not always a good thing, so you always kind of want to counterbalance. Yep.
Nice. Well, this was so exciting. Yeah. I learned so much, and I hope you have too. Can you please tell our viewers how they can get in touch with you, how they can get a wine tasting?
Absolutely. So I can be reached at corksandsips@gmail.com. That is corksandsips@gmail.com.
Yes, guys, this is so exciting. I enjoyed the wine, and I'm going to finish my glass. But guys, just remember to like, subscribe, and share. Comment, tell me who you would like to see, and always remember to subscribe. It's so important. And you can find me at Arabia Asks You. See you guys for the next episode.
Bye.